Hello everyone. I'm so glad that you're watching today. I am Chef Christy and I have a very special recipe. It is almost that time of year for the state fair. And when I think of the state fair, I think of cinnamon rolls. I mean, don't you think of cinnamon rolls? I'm just saying, in my state fair in West Virginia, the cinnamon rolls are amazing and you can stand in line for a very long time just to get a cinnamon roll. So I want to share with you my recipe for cinnamon rolls. There's a little secret tip that I do in my recipe, so I'm excited to share that with you. And if you are new to my channel, I hope that you consider subscribing because I am posting new recipes every Monday and every Thursday. And if you hit the little notification bell, then you will know as soon as I upload a new video. And give me a thumbs up and let me know that you like my videos. So, enough said, let's make these delicious cinnamon rolls. Okay, the first thing that I want to do is add 2.5 teaspoons of the dry active quick rise yeast. And then I'm going to add just about a teaspoon of sugar to my yeast because that really helps feed the yeast so that it will rise quickly. And then I have 1 cup of warm water. Now this was like around 115 degrees. You do not want to go warmer than that or it could kill the yeast. So this, not water, it's milk. Did I just say water? Anyway, then I just take my finger and kind of stir it around to dissolve that sugar and let this sit for about 5 minutes just until you see the yeast starting to bloom and activate. Okay, so you want to see it start to bubble up and get kind of foamy, and I've been watching it. I'm not sure I can get it on film, but it's like bubbling and it's like alive and active, and that is what you want to see anytime that you make a bread. Okay, so now I'm just going to add the rest of my ingredients. I have 1/2 cup of melted butter. And then I'm going to add the rest of my sugar. I took the 1 teaspoon out of this, but this was 1/2 cup of sugar. And then I have 2 eggs. And then I'm going to add about 1/2 of my flour. And this was 4.5 cups of the bread flour. And I just find that using bread flour just gives me a better dough than just the all-purpose. Okay, and then I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. And salt is very important in any kind of dough because it just adds the flavor. If you don't have the salt, it's just something about that salt is what makes it really good. Okay, so I'm just going to blend this up. All right, it's almost coming together. So I'm just going to go ahead and add the rest of my flour. And I am using my dough hook with my KitchenAid, but you can absolutely just put this in a bowl and do this by hand. But of course I'm saving myself a little bit of work by using my KitchenAid. So I added the rest of the flour and then I'm just going to let this go again until it all comes together to form a dough. Okay, my dough is just about come together, and as you can see, it has completely, the sides of the bowl are completely like clean. It's like all come together. So I'm gonna let this go for just a little bit longer and then I'll be done with my dough. Okay, I have been mixing this until it formed a nice dough. And the thing I really like about this cinnamon roll recipe is it doesn't take that long to do it. And so what I'm going to do is I took my dough out and then in my same bowl, my mixing bowl, I'm just going to spray it with non-stick spray really good. And then I'm just going to place my dough right back in my bowl and cover this with a damp towel. And then I'm going to place this on my oven that is just, I have my oven set at the lowest temperature and just so it has a nice warm place to rise, and it'll take about 30 minutes, anywhere from 30 to an hour. So you let that rise, and so then I'll show you what's next. Okay, so my dough is just about ready to roll out, but I want to quickly make the filling for the cinnamon rolls. And so I want to show you just how I do that. Okay, so I have half a cup of butter that's just partially melted, and then I've got 1 cup of packed brown sugar and then 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. And I'm just going to mix this together, and this will be my filling. Okay, I've taken my board and I've just added some flour, and then I'm just going to take my dough, and it's doubled in size. And then all I'm going to do is roll this dough out into a nice square. Let me get some flour and sprinkle on top and on my rolling pin. And I'm just going to roll this out. So it's going to take me just a little bit to get this all nice and rolled out into a nice big square. Okay, I've been rolling it out, and it's just almost the size of my board. So this is good. So now I'm just going to take this delicious filling, and I'm just going to evenly spread it all over my dough. Gotta get every bit of it. All right. Okay, so I've got this nice and evenly spread all over my dough. And hey, listen, if you want to crumble some little pecans all on here, that would be delicious as well. But I'm just going to do the cinnamon today. All right, so then what I'm going to do is I am just going to start rolling this. You just want it to be kind of a nice tight roll so that it'll stay together. Okay, I have found that if you have a bread knife like this that is serrated, it works a lot better. And what I do is I just kind of eyeball it, and I try to just cut in the middle and then just slice it. And then I have a greased cookie sheet, and so I'm going to place them on here once I cut them. And I want them to be quite thick, nice big rolls. So I'm going to cut these, and then I'll show you what's next. Okay, so again, I'm going to cover these and put them back on my stove for about 30 minutes and let these rise. Okay, my rolls have been rising for about 30 minutes, and so now I'm going to show you the secret little tip. What I have is a half a cup of heavy cream, and so what I'm going to do is I am just going to put this heavy cream all over each roll. Okay, so I've brushed all the tops of my rolls and the sides with the heavy cream. And now I'm going to put it in the oven at 375 degrees for about 20 minutes. Look at these beautiful cinnamon rolls. Now we've got to ice them. Okay, so now I'm going to make the frosting for the cinnamon rolls, and this is just a half a cup of melted butter. And to that I'm going to add about a tablespoon of vanilla extract, and then I'm going to add, this is right around 2 cups of powdered sugar. Let's see. And if you need to add a little bit more powdered sugar, you can do that. I'm just going to mix this together. Okay, I've got the consistency of this icing that I want, and I just added a little bit extra powdered sugar and even a little touch of cold water just to give me this nice creamy beautiful glaze to go over my cinnamon rolls. Okay, so these cinnamon rolls have cooled slightly. They're still a little bit warm, but they've cooled a little bit. And so what I'm gonna do is drizzle this delicious glaze right over top of these cinnamon rolls. Ooh-wee, look at that. Look at these cinnamon rolls. Ho, 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 ho. All right. Okay, these are amazing. Now you know that I have got to try one of these. Trying to decide which one of these I want. Oh my goodness, I do not know. I think I'm gonna go with this one right here. Now look at this. When you go to a state fair and you get a cinnamon roll, this is what I'm talking about. These are so good. They're not lacking any fat though, I will say. I'm not sure if there's anything better than a warm cinnamon roll. That is delicious. The dough is so good. I really hope that you give this a try. So I've enjoyed showing you this recipe, and I will see you soon.